Hello everybody, this is Lara from Pure Elliott Wave with your free daily update for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. On Bitcoin today, I'm going to draw your attention to a possible little pennant pattern. I've got a question mark around it. You've got to be a little bit patient with these little patterns. I may need to readjust the trend lines. The best performing flags and pennants complete within 15 sessions. So far, this has only lasted 7 sessions, so it could certainly continue sideways some more. It could even morph into a flag before it's finally done and we see a breakout. Flags and pennants are reliable continuation patterns. Now, it doesn't mean they always work. It just means they work much more often than they fail. Sometimes they do fail. That's another reason for the question mark. Let's be patient for this. You take the flagpole, which I'm taking from the high on this candle to the low on this candle, and you add that distance to what would be the breakout point. When I do that, I get a target from the pennant of 43,472. In order for us to use that target, for that to be actionable, we need to see a clear breakout from the pennant. Because it's a continuation pattern, then because price moved upward into the pattern, the breakout obviously should be upward. We need to see a close above the upper resistance line with push from volume. That's a breakout. If we see that, then the target becomes actionable. So that's a new thing I have to note for you on Bitcoin today. Started this week, learn Elliott Wave. You can master Elliott Wave with me, Lara Idiarity, CMT. I'll help you understand all Elliott Wave rules and guidelines. You'll learn to create and label new Elliott Wave counts. This is a comprehensive online course for all levels of learner. I aim to make my lessons engaging for effective learning. I have some very innovative learning methods and exercises that are truly unique. You will not find anything else like this online. You can learn at your own pace, and at the end of each lesson there are quizzes for practical understanding. So maximise your Elliott Wave learning. Exclusive discounts for 1 week only this week. Along with access to the course for your lifetime, you will get a free digital copy of my book Pure Elliott Wave and 1 month's free access to Pure Elliott Wave weekly analysis of Bitcoin, gold, the S&P 500 and USOIL. Elevate your Elliott Wave journey. This week, Learn Pure Elliott Wave has a 38% discount from normal price of $395 to $245. This is exclusive for 1 week only. Click on the link to get access now. So far, the resistance at 35,000 is continuing to hold. Price is moving sideways with a consolidation, absolutely normal behaviour, doesn't always move in a straight line. It will sometimes when it's in that parabolic growth phase, but that doesn't last forever. Overall volume is declining and price moves sideways. That's normal for a flag or pennant pattern as well. That's normal during consolidation. ADX is now very extreme. It's getting toward the point where it's extreme enough for this market to warrant a deeper pullback or more time-consuming consolidation. Not quite there yet, but it's getting there. I'm starting to draw a resistance line now on balance volume, but I can't draw a support line until a second pivot has formed. And this short little resistance line for on balance volume has a really steep slope. I'll be open to adjusting it, but I like to draw my lines reasonably early and start to wait for a consolidation on balance volume to form, draw resistance and support lines and look for a breakout for a signal. RSI is still overbought, but I'm not going to consider this divergence because we haven't seen a pivot on price develop yet. Money flows back in neutral territory, but it had previously reached overbought. ATR showed a strong increase in that previous growth phase, and now it's showing a decline during consolidation, normal to be expected behaviour. My Elliott Wave count for Ethereum, I'm going to be open actually to labelling my Newt Wave 1 over here. It's possible, I'll show you what I mean. This is possible. 4 could have been over here, and 5 could have been over here. We could be in the early stages of my Newt Wave 2. But for now, I'll leave it as is, and I'm a little bit concerned about the choppy overlapping nature of Minuet Wave 5. I would have expected to be a little bit more clearly upward, but it could redeem itself. I'll see how it unfolds over the next few days. I'm pretty flexible with my Elliott Wave counts. For now, my target is 1864 for Minuet 5 to reach equality in length with 1, and if Minuet 4 were to continue lower, it may not move into Wave 1 price territory below 1640.11. When my Newt Wave 1 is over, the invalidation point moves down to here, and the following pullback for my Newt Wave 2 should last at least a couple of weeks, maybe a little bit longer, and may not move beyond the start of 1 below 1521.78. For Ethereum, a little pennant pattern may also be forming. A little bit concerned about the the steep slope of both of these trend lines for the pennant, so I'm absolutely open to adjusting those over coming days. So far, this little pennant pattern has only lasted 6 days. Now, the best performing flags and pennants complete within 15 sessions. They are short-term continuation patterns. My flagpole for this pennant, I take from the high of this candlestick to the low of this candlestick. I add that to where the breakout point may be. So far, I get a target at 2160. If the upper trend line for the pennant needs to be adjusted, that target will need to be recalculated. Again, you need to wait for a very clear breakout from this pennant with a close above this resistance line on an upward session with push from volume. That's very important for an upward breakout. It has to have push from volume. If we see that and it's nice and clear, then we can use the target calculated from the flagpole. So far, price is breaking, well, it's a little bit below support now at 1800. I may have to change that to resistance if price can close below support today. So far, it's looking like price is finding support and resistance about 1800, so this area is being weakened. If it can stay above that, the next resistance is 1880. If it closes below 1800, next support is 1716. Volume is overall declining as price moves sideways and now lower, but still decent volume on an upward session compared to the previous closest downward session. I can't draw trend lines on balance volume for Ethereum yet, but I'll keep an eye on that. As it's forming a consolidation with price, we may start to see a consolidation with on balance volume as well. For Ethereum, the ADX line is now above both DX lines. For Ethereum, the trend is extreme, but only just, and a very long way to go before it's as extreme as it can get for this market. RSI remains overbought. I'm not going to note divergence because we haven't had pivots develop in price yet. And money flow is still in neutral territory. ATR, showing a strong increase, is only just now starting to show a small decline. My Elliott Wave count for XRP is still quite bullish, and it's moving higher while the others are just moving sideways or lower. So I'm going to label subminuet 3 potentially over now and move the invalidation point down to the high of subminuet 1. Subminuet 4 to come will probably be brief and shallow, and it can't move into wave 1 price territory below 0.5102. When minuet wave 1 is over, for XRP, I'll expect a deeper pullback or more time-consuming consolidation, and then the invalidation point moves down here to 0.4743. Minuet 2 may not move beyond the start of 1 below that point, but for now we leave it here, looking out for a little fourth wave correction. It could be over within a couple of days. Subminuet 2 was over within 2 days, so subminuet 4 should likely be over within 1 or 2 days to have decent proportion to subminuet 2. It's the proportion between your second and fourth wave corrections in an impulse that give an impulse what we call the right look. So when minuet wave 1 is complete, then minuet wave 2 may last about a week or two, maybe 3 weeks at the most. I wouldn't expect it to be too much longer. Minute wave 2 lasted just under 2 weeks, 13 sessions, and minor wave 2 lasted 22 sessions. So I'd expect minuet 2 to be over under 13 sessions for really good proportion. Doesn't have to be, it could be longer lasting. If the third wave is a long extension, then the subdivisions within it are also going to take longer in terms of time. There's no flag or pennant to note here. Price is just moving up and now hitting resistance at 62 cents. I would look for pretty strong support now, about 55 cents. Not perfectly there, maybe we need to pull this down just a little bit lower, and maybe about 53, 54 cents might be a better area now. Volume is showing a little bit of an increase as price moves higher. That is excellent to see for a bullish case for XRP. Can't draw a new range for on-balance volume for XRP yet. ADX is above both the DX lines. The trend is now extreme, but not very extreme. It's still below 45. It's a long way to go before it gets as extreme as it can for this market. And RSI is just today moving into overbought territory, but it can get deeply overbought and then exhibit bearish divergence before the trend has an interruption that is deeper and longer lasting than just a couple of days or so. And money flow is neutral. ATR continuing to show an increase, so push from volume and an increase in volatility is really good to see for a bullish case. This supports the Elliott Wave count. That's it from me today with your quick update of those three. I hope everyone's having a lovely day.